Wake Up with Tina Marks is brought to you by Family Home Development and Revell, inspiring lives of unparalleled excellence.
And welcome to Wake Up with Tina Marks. I'm Tina Marks, your host. We have an amazing show for you today. And you know what? We don't have a lot of time. We have a lot to fit in, so we're going to get started right now. Throughout my life, I found that there was a lot of products, services, and professionals that I was not familiar with. I realized that not having been aware of these opportunities, I was missing out on improving my life in so many ways. I have made it my mission to search out what I feel is the best products, services, and professionals available. Each week, I will interview 3 to 4 different guests who will be discussing their products and services and why they are so beneficial to your life. And we're here with Craig Michaels from CV Weekly, -1.
Yes, it's just you and I this week.
Just you and I. Bronwyn is out of town.
Having fun, doing yoga somewhere, no doubt.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we're working hard here.
So you came out, I hear, with a racket in your hand.
I did.
You must know about the BNP Paribas.
The who?
Yeah, right?
That's how we started off.
I got to say, before we started taping, I mentioned that we're going to talk about the BNP Paribas. And she goes, what term is that? And then I said, you play tennis? And she goes, yeah, I was born with a racket in my hand.
And I came out the womb with a racket in my hand is what I said. But yes, I didn't realize. Don't they change the name all the time? What's it called?
The sponsor has been changed. I can't remember who before BNP. It was somebody else. But it's probably been about 2 or 3 years now since they've had the title on this great tournament at the Indian Wells Tennis Garden.
I'm definitely going.
Biggest names in tennis. Men's side, they've got Novak Djokovic, who's past champion a couple of times. Andy Murray, Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal.
Federer, I love her. Yeah. And Nadal. Those two I like.
All excellent players. Ladies aside, Serena and Venus Williams. The Williams sisters are coming back.
Wow. Yeah. They weren't.
They took a hiatus for several years after there was a big scuffle. One of the sisters backed out. They were supposed to play each other.
That's what it was.
This was probably 10, 15 years ago, and then one of the sisters pulled out, faked an injury. Well, at least people thought they faked an injury. So obviously people were upset.
So they wouldn't have to play each other.
Right, and so the fans booed them when they came into the stadium to watch somebody else. So ever since then, the ladies took a hiatus.
Yeah, but that would be kind of hard. Wouldn't it be to play a sibling?
Well, you know, I'm sure they've done it before. In fact, I know they have, and that's just part of the game. Yeah. So they should accept it. But anyway, that's all done and over with. They're back this year, along with Maria Sharapova and other great tennis players.
She's great.
It actually starts today.
Okay.
March 9th, runs through the 20th. So here's something that's going on tomorrow. So if you're watching today on a Wednesday, then you're okay. If you're tuning in on a Friday, I got to say you're sorry you missed out on this. 7th annual Runway Fashion Show at Iowa Casino. It's at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I want to mention it because it benefits the Jocelyn Senior Center. So they're going to have a live auction, incredible fashion. So if you want to get out there and support the Senior Center, it's happening this Thursday.
Actually, I think Valana, our very own Valana, is doing some of some of the fashions for it. Yes.
Great. All right. So golf, Patrick Warburton Celebrity Golf Tournament this weekend.
A lot of celebrity golf tournaments.
Yeah, I know. They seem to like us here, don't they?
Yeah. And where's that?
This is happening at the Classic Club, Palm Desert.
Again.
And, you know, this also benefits a great charity, St. Jude's Children's Hospital Research.
Yes.
So, you know, it's a great facility that treats and defeats childhood cancer and other diseases. And so, you know, how can you go wrong there if you want to get out and support that and go to the Patrick Warburton Celebrity Golf Tournament? I love golf. I'm a duffer. We won't talk about my score.
Usually people don't play very well.
I said I'm a golfer. I didn't say I'm good. I just said I'm a golfer. 2 shows at Morongo, Casino Morongo.
Okay.
2 really good shows. Now here we're going to play.
I've never been there. Can you
music trivia here.
Okay.
You have to go to Morongo. If you haven't been there, you should go.
Okay.
They sing "Hold On Loosely." What group? The Blank Stands.
Yeah, you can hear a pin
Cricket.
Hold on, Lucy.
Hold on, loosely.
Hold on, Lucy.
Yeah, loosely. Hold on, loosely.
No, I don't know.
38 Special.
Yeah. Okay.
Come on, Tina.
Is there another one?
38 Special.
No, I don't know.
They had a couple other hits, but they're playing at Casino Morongo this Friday.
Okay.
On the 11th, 9 o'clock in their ballroom. Now, also that same night in Vibe downstairs, they have the Spasmatics playing.
The Spasmatics.
I don't know if you've heard of them, but they're like a really big 80s tribute band.
Okay.
Really
what's their hit song?
The 80s, all the 80s. They play all the 80s tunes. They're an 80s covers band.
They're a cover band.
Right, they're a covers band.
And they're in the Vibe. That's downstairs.
Downstairs, and then upstairs in the ballroom is going to be 38 Special.
38 Special. Okay, great.
All right. And then finally this weekend at Fantasy Springs, we're going to play some more trivia here. Let's see if you can guess this artist. This might be kind of tough, but you can't look now. Because it's a rapper.
I can't even see. I gotta get LASIK.
This guy is a rapper, so I don't know if you're familiar with rappers, but
Yes.
he was a Grammy Award-winning rap artist. Came
Snoop.
onto the scene in 2000. No, not Snoop Dogg. He came onto the scene in about 2000. One of his biggest hits were "Hot in Here."
Oh, it's getting hot.
in
Nelly.
here. Bing. There you go.
Yeah, I'm so good. What do I win?
Now-
What do I win?
Well, let's see if we can get you a couple of tickets
You
to
get
the
to
show.
buy me
How
this
about
dress.
that?
How's that?
Okay, you got it. Put it on my credit card. Take checks.
That you don't have.
You remember, I've got kids, 6 of them.
Speaking of kids, how are your kids?
Kids are doing awesome. You know, I can't believe that school year is winding down. School's going to be out. My daughter, who's a senior at Palm Springs High School, says she graduates at the end of May. I'm like, wow, that's like a couple of months away.
Are you kind of already looking at summer?
It's
I'm already
crazy.
looking at summer.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. And
I
you know,
know.
my son just started 6th grade. Well, he's almost out of 6th grade now. And you know, all my guy friends were telling me that, you know, for the last year or so, just be prepared because he's going to start pulling away because he's a boy.
Right.
And I'm like, that's never going to happen with my son. Well, it is.
Guess what?
It is. And but you know,
Yeah.
and then they say, well, but he'll come back around 19. I'm like, so I lose all that childhood, and then he comes back as a man. That doesn't seem
You got
fair.
to cut the string and let them fly.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. My daughter's going to be a senior this year, so.
Yeah.
But I've been through it a couple of times.
Yeah,
so
but he's not even
I'm used to
12.
it. This is your first.
First and only.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
I've done it a couple of times.
Yeah,
It ain't no
I
big
think
deal
it
for
might
me.
be-
I'm pushing him out the door.
Yeah,
Like,
get
come on,
out."
kids, it's time to go. You've graduated. You know how.
No more living here.
Yeah,
and, you
you'll
know.
be there. You'll be there.
Well, because I hear that a lot of them are living at home. I remember my sister's daughter was kind of back and forth through her 20s. Yeah.
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 It happens. They come back home.
Yeah.
They always do. I did.
Got to get a bigger house.
Yeah, then I finally grew up.
Buy one here
Got
at
my
Ravel,
own.
right?
There we go.
There you go.
I'll take this one.
Yeah,
Thank you
this
very
one's all
much.
set, all ready to go. Okay.
Put it on my credit card.
Okay.
All right.
Credit card again. Well, we'll be right back with a very special guest that actually Craig brought in.
Yeah, it's a crowd.
Luxury is something you feel, sense, and live. Luxury has a new home. Ravel at Clancy Lane, an extraordinary new gated community in the heart of Rancho Mirage. Distinctive estates in modern or traditional styles on large home sites built exclusively for you with standard features that are just like the model. No upgrades required. Ravel at Clancy Lane. Models are open daily. Visit ravelatclancy.com.
And we're back with one of Craig's entertainers, a very, very special guest. Why don't you go ahead and announce who we have here?
Barry Minifield, ladies and gentlemen. You've probably seen him on TV on The Voice recently.
love
He's
that
one
show.
of one of the top entertainers in our agency at Musical Affair. Also has another show he's going to be working on. But let's start out with The Voice, Barry. Talk about
Yeah,
that.
tell us.
That was a great experience. I mean,
When was that? Which season was that?
it was season 8.
And then what are they on now?
They're on season 10.
Who were the judges then?
Adam, Blake, Christina, and Pharrell.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And you were
Fantastic.
picked by Blake, is that right?
Adam.
Adam. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
So you were picked by
Blake.
Adam. So you got
You
to
don't look like a country singer.
Sorry.
I don't know.
I would have picked Blake though.
And you're
So
a
you got to
musical
meet
guy.
Adam. That's pretty cool.
Me and Mrs. Jones, we got a thing going on. Oh, yes, we do, babe. We both know that it's wrong, but it's much too strong to let it go now.
It was a great experience. I mean, what can I say? It's, I mean, to just be on that show and to
Oh,
be
yeah.
validated.
Right.
You know, because, thank God for social media because you just don't know what's out there.
No, exactly.
And
That's
there's
why I have my social butterflies.
a lot of great talent out there, I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Was,
It's-
these young kids today don't even sound like young
Oh, no,
children.
no.
I mean, they're just, I mean, it's
How
a
long
whole
have you
new
been
thing.
singing?
About 25, 30 years.
Really?
Barry's got some
30
pipes.
years.
Yeah. So what kind of music do you sing then?
I do Motown, I do big band swing.
You do?
Even a little opera.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Little
I would
soft
love to.
rock.
And you're
Pretty
friends
across the
with,
board.
you know some celebrity people. You can throw names around. Jay Leno, I think, is a
Yeah,
friend
Jay,
of
I've
yours,
known Jay
right?
for 30 years, and
Really?
Roseanne Barr. And
You go back to the old comedy store
I
in LA,
used to-
is that
I
right?
love Roseanne.
Now, don't you have a connection with the comedy store?
No, it wasn't the Comedy Store. It's the Improv.
Oh, the Improv.
The Improv in
Okay.
Hollywood, yeah.
Okay.
What, do you do comedy too?
No, I was the executive chef.
Oh, you were?
Back in the day.
Chef,
Yeah,
singer.
he's got some stories.
Wow.
I was a chef. You know, my first job, let me tell you, was at USC.
Yeah.
And you know, Will
Joey?
Ferrell,
Okay.
he was in that. He was in the class for 4 years. I had him for 4 years.
Which
Was
class?
Delta Tau Delta fraternity.
Oh, okay.
I was their chef,
cool.
their personal chef.
Oh,
in their fraternity.
interesting. Wow.
You know, they had a lot of money.
Really? So do you still? I mean, do you just cook for yourself,
no,
or
just for myself and friends and stuff, but not
or
you know.
friends when they
Yeah.
have a dinner party?
Yeah, you know, I had a catering business out here, and
Oh, you
This is
do?
hinting
What's
around
that?
for
No,
a
I
dinner
did.
invitation.
Oh, you did.
I
Okay.
did.
Okay.
But
Yes, I
no,
am.
I'm just really
hitting around.
concentrating on music since being on The Voice and
Fantastic.
a lot of doors are open. So.
You've got another show coming up. Let's talk about that.
Oh yeah, I'm doing a lot of shows with singers from The Voice.
Oh, who?
Well, I'm
Any-
doing a show March 31st.
Okay. Here in the desert.
at Vibrato.
Where's that?
It's Herb Albert's jazz place in Bel Air.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'm
Uh,
doing a show there with Sugar Jones.
Do
and
we
she
get
was,
invited?
Yeah, of course.
Good. You better not forget.
We're on the VIP list.
course.
Fantastic. What's the date?
March 31st.
Oh, fantastic.
And Sugar Jones from season 7 of The Voice.
Okay.
And she was in the top 12.
Oh, fantastic.
So she's
How
got
did
a
that
big
happen?
voice.
Who arranged that? Did you all
I
just
did.
keep in touch? You all just
I
kept
did,
in touch?
yeah. I just been doing, in November I did a big show for the city of Indian Wells, and I brought 5 of the singers from my season, and we did a big show.
That's fantastic.
Exciting.
I love
Really
people
well. So
like
it was-
joining. I was talking about that earlier. People joining together and.
We're supposed to do the
helping-
McCallum, but something happened and it didn't work out. But Fitz he wants to do something this next year.
So how long have you been living in the desert now?
27 years.
Yeah, and I've never met you.
And of course, if you would like to book Barry, you can always go to musicalaffair.com.
Yes.
He does a great band. He has a lot of musicians that he works with here locally. So if you're having an event and you'd like to have Barry to come sing with his band, musicalaffair.com.
Yeah.
Cool.
Fantastic. Thanks for coming on.
Well, thanks for having me.
Thanks, Barry.
Thank you.
And now we're here with an amazing man who is so accomplished. I actually don't know how he had the time in his lifetime to accomplish what he has, Mr. Dick Heckman. Welcome.
Nice to be here.
Okay, so let's start not from the beginning, but when you served at the White House. And right now, this is really exciting because the elections are going on. So why don't you tell us how that happened and what you did for the White House?
Well, it was a complete accident. I was at a reunion of my business school class and got a little crazy with some questions, and one thing led to another. And I ended up in the president's office because they were looking for a real live entrepreneur to go to the Small Business Administration, which had always been defeated governors and congressmen and senators. So in a fairly short interview process, I ended up going to the SBA.
Yeah, what led you in stockbroking from
Well, those were in the
politics?
days before negotiated commissions. Those were in the days of fixed commissions, and you paid a lot of commissions. And I had sold a business and kind of retired and went to the administration, and the business that I sold to had a great 4 years while I was gone. So I was pretty lucky, so I went in to be a stockbroker so I wouldn't have to pay commissions.
So you wouldn't- not because you loved it, but because always the business angle.
and just a little hit for Todd Blue here.
Todd Blue is the owner of Desert European Motors.
I had a Rolls Royce, and I rolled into the brokerage house and parked with my Rolls Royce and went in to apply for a job. And the manager said, "Are you kidding me? what are you doing?" And I said, "I just want to. I think it'd be fun to be a stockbroker." So I became a stockbroker and was a broker for 8 years and had a
Did you
great
like
career.
it?
Had a great career.
You
Loved
did.
it.
You walked away from that.
I decided I wanted to run a company.
Okay.
I decided I wanted to have a big airplane,
Yes.
and I was never going to
That-
have a big airplane if I was a stockbroker.
Right.
You need to have equity to do that. So, and I had a customer who kept asking me about the water business. How can
Okay.
I invest in the water business? And I started doing a lot of homework, and there was no way to invest in the water business. Here you have a product necessary for life itself. 5 days without it, you're a dead duck. Nothing grows without it. And yet, in 1990, you could not invest in water in the United States.
Right.
So I decided there's got to be an opportunity. So I moved to
Now,
the second.
why couldn't you invest in
Because there
water?
were no companies that were
was-
publicly traded.
There was no.
There were
okay,
no
there's
publicly traded. It was just a
traded companies.
completely
Okay.
diverse
Wide open.
business.
Yep.
Because water's local. All
Yes.
water's local.
Okay.
And so my secretary and I moved down 111 to the old Warren Christopher building.
Oh yeah, the round one.
And went, and there was a baseball card shop in the bottom floor. Sam Battistone had a baseball card shop. He rented me a little space in the second floor of his baseball card shop. And that's where U.S. Filter started.
And you
we
supply
had
all the Starbucks and Budweiser.
Budweiser, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, all that stuff. And then
You don't drink any of that
No,
stuff.
no. And then we had 26,000 employees, and then in 1999 I merged it with the largest water company in the rest of the world. One of the
Which
things,
was?
Vivendi.
Okay.
It was the water business was called Compagnie Générale des Eaux, which was the French name, but it changed its name to Vivendi. And one of the things, again, because water's so local, we just were getting killed in Europe and Asia because we just didn't understand the cultures. And they were getting killed in the United States because they didn't understand the culture.
Mm-hmm.
And it was my best lesson I've ever had about trying to go into somebody else's culture and be successful.
Which is?
It's not easy.
It's not easy.
And it's amazing, the minute we put the two companies together, they flourished. Because then, all of a sudden, we understood how to sell our stuff in Europe.
Yes.
They understood how to sell their stuff in
Well, exactly.
the U.S.
You
And
both benefited from each other.
It was an automatic.
Okay, so we're just scratching the surface. So you promised you will come back again,
Sure.
correct? Okay.
Anytime.
All right, great.
Great being here. Thanks.
Luxury is something you feel, sense, and live. Luxury has a new home, Ravel at Clancy Lane, an extraordinary new gated community in the heart of Rancho Mirage. Distinctive estates in modern or traditional styles on large home sites built exclusively for you with standard features that are just like the model, no upgrades required. Ravel at Clancy Lane. Models are open daily. Visit ravelatclancy.com.
And let's talk real estate. Here we are with Brian Shop from Windermere.
Yes.
Lascaux Partners. I didn't want to leave that out because that's very important.
Yes.
So you work out of the Palm Springs office, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, what do you have for us today?
I am here to introduce the Vista Palms project.
Okay.
It is a new modern contemporary with a mid-century flair architectural style. It is located in the northeast hillsides of Desert Hot Springs.
Okay. Is it a new development
It is
or?
brand new development. It is going to be a planned development of 95 mid-century influenced modern homes.
Okay.
Probably the largest since the 60s by one developer. 1918 square feet up with 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. We have 5 currently available, waiting for buyers to come in and make their flooring selection. People can upgrade as we build out if they come in early and buy before the home has gotten to certain stages.
Okay.
They have the opportunity to make upgrades such as the panoramic folding doors that open up completely.
Right.
Pools and solar are options.
Options, yeah.
You can add a pool and solar system and still stay under 400,000.
Right, yeah, and solar is just fantastic. So how do we find out more information? We have your information at the bottom of the screen and your phone number, right? What's the
Right.
best way to reach you, the phone or website?
Phone is bed.
Okay.
Website is vistapalmshomes.com.
Okay, perfect. All right,
awesome.
come out and see it. And we're back with Amanda Beckner from Your Body Code. Welcome back, Amanda. So we are going to be talking today about GMOs. Everybody's heard of them, but not everybody knows exactly what they are. So why don't you let us in to what
Okay.
GMOs
Well,
are?
GMO is a genetically modified food.
Yes, that's what it
organism.
stands for.
And basically, it's developed in a lab. So they're taking the genes, the DNA, from an animal, a plant, an organism, a virus, and they're splicing the gene into another gene of another crop to make that a genetically modified food, which is more industrial.
So what's the reason for it?
If you have an apple, you
Yes.
cut it, leave it on the counter, it
Yeah.
doesn't brown.
Right.
I personally would rather have my apple brown, and by having it sit out a little bit longer, and not have it affect my immune system or tear it down. It's been scientifically proven that genetically modified foods will break down the organ, the heart, the liver, and other organs in our body.
They do it with animals too?
Yep,
I mean,
they
I know.
absolutely do. I actually had a client once that ended up in the hospital because he was allergic to fish, and he ate a watermelon that was seedless. And they had spliced the gene to make it seedless with a flounder of a fish. And he had
flounder?
allergens to fish. And so they can do this by splicing gene to make a fruit seedless.
But they don't know that the fish is in there, and then they're having an
Absolutely.
allergic reaction.
Absolutely.
Oh my
Absolutely.
gosh,
and
that's
it's scary. If you're splicing a gene into another gene, you can change the DNA strand, which means that you can change your own DNA strand and make you open to diseases that may never have been in your family history. If you cut a tomato open and it's got a lot of little lines running through it and it kind of is more solid, that's more genetically modified.
interesting. Oh, and larger maybe too?
Well, yeah, the fruit gets bigger. So
organic,
Absolutely.
organic. Okay, that's
Absolutely.
There's no way around it. If you don't
Yeah.
want to be sick, then you
Absolutely.
need to buy organic.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for that information.
All right, you're welcome.
And we're back with our social butterflies. Ooh, my voice just cracked. I'm getting it from
Allergies.
you, yeah.
Allergies.
Michelle and Alexandra. Somebody asked me the other day what my handle was. My social. Don't truck drivers have a handle? Like, what's your handle?
This is true, and I actually brought my handle today. This is what most people identify when they say
It's a handle.
right? You're thinking this. No. In social media, a handle is your identifier. It identifies your brand.
Okay.
And it basically is what you want to always be consistent and use the same handle for each social media site.
Well, wait, would that be your company name?
No, your handle is basically what you are on Facebook or on Instagram or.
So
on
what
the
would my
phone.
handle be?
Yours would be Wake Up with Tina Marks.
Wake Up-
Basically, your handle is that little thing.
That is my name. That's my
Exactly.
company.
It is your
That
name.
is your company.
It is my name.
Exactly.
So-
Yes.
It's your brand identifier.
Okay.
This is how people identify you, like a thumbprint. So, as you know, with so many social media sites, like my friend Alex, I love her dearly,
Oh, I
but
do
her
too.
last name is very difficult for me to spell.
That's why I don't introduce you by your last names anymore, to be honest with you.
When I look for Alex online, I always know that I can go to her handle and find her easily.
What are some of the other terminologies that
Some of the other things that I think people are very confused about are hashtags. That will basically categorize all your posts. And if someone is looking for a TV show or they know Wake Up with Tina Marks, they can just hashtag Wake Up with Tina Marks.
Yes.
And then, they can find everything, not just the show itself, but everybody who is talking about that show and everybody who is commenting about
It's like when on Facebook, that you share with your friends and then they share with their friends, and now the circle is
Exactly.
kind of like
It
that.
is
Okay,
Similar
okay, good.
too, because it's like finding your group that
Yes.
everyone's talking about.
Right.
It categorizes your post to a huge.
I have an idea. Is it kind of like when you're doing a Google search? Let's say you're looking up empowerment coach. You put it, and then all that. It's the same.
She's got it.
I got it. Okay. Well, thank you so much for informing us all, and I can't wait to hear what you guys have up for next week.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
And we're back with Joe Galito, from
thank you.
Family
Yeah.
Development, part of the umbrella. And aren't you going to even mention how beautiful?
Well, I was
look
going to leave
today?
that kind of to the end of the segment to say how stunning you look,
Oh,
but
thank
I
you.
have
Okay.
noticed that. Hopefully, my wife's not looking. But I'm just saying, no, I love that dress,
Thank
that
you.
look. I
And
love
the
that.
jewelry. Okay, so I, do
was-
have to give mention here. This is a designer that I just found through Alex on our show, and she's amazing. Candace Held, I'd never heard of her. She's in Palm Springs. But I'm going to actually have to buy this dress. The jewelry is by the Jewelry Bar on El Paseo. I'm just blown away by this look.
Put it on
Okay.
Craig's credit card. I
Yeah,
heard him
Craig's
talking
credit
about
right.
that.
Craig's credit card. Okay, what have you got for us today?
Well, what I would like to share is kind of the location. The location here is key.
It is amazing.
A lot of people are familiar with Clancy Lane.
Yes.
You talk to locals.
And a lot of people aren't.
And a lot of people aren't.
Yes.
And so the folks that aren't familiar with Clancy Lane and the rich history behind it,
Yes.
right? We have that elusive gate, right? So a lot of people try to cut through. And the site that Revell sits on was the former site of Marywood. Remember Marywood?
Yes,
So this school
exactly.
was
I
here
went
since
to Palm Valley.
1970s,
Yeah.
and then they merged. And
Yeah.
the locals would come in and say, "Oh, I remember that."
Right, because there's only so much land, and once it's
Especially
built,
here,
that's it. You can't
especially
get
here.
any more land on Clancy.
And that's it. So, and not only being truly in the heart of the desert.
Yes,
a mile away from everything.
Exactly.
But being part of Clancy Lane and the rich history and the establishment of this area.
Thanks for coming on.
You look
and sharing.
gorgeous too.
Thank you. And we're back with Robert Shine from Hightower. Let's talk money.
We love it. It's important.
Yes. So you know what? Why don't you just give us a little recap of what your service is, what you can offer to your clients?
Well, Tina, thanks for having us. And essentially what we do is we provide an unobstructed view of your total financial future. By that I mean we've created a 3-step proven process that provides control, clarity, and more importantly, confidence as it relates to your finances.
Yes, and when you are clear, you do become confident. I like that.
Yeah, so we have a very important process that is, at the end of the day, it puts you in the right direction. And so, with the world that we have today, there's so many options, there's so many decisions that need to be made, especially on your personal finance. We are the ones that you hire for your personal financial well-being. Today, I've got something very special for your audience.
Okay.
And if they were to go to thesofew.com, THESOFEW.com, everyone's going to get a guide to increasing your income. So the most
we like that. Who can't handle a little more income, right?
Yeah,
especially in this day and age.
Well, there's every aspect in every pocket. So whether it's your investment portfolio, everyone has income that their portfolio could produce or should produce. As an example, dividends. Dividends, if you look at stocks, companies that pay income by way of dividends, pay 4 times a year. There's some great quality companies out there, but it's a cash flow, and the cash flow that can't go away. It could never go down in terms of if you buy the right companies. You want to make certain that you're buying the right companies to make sure that cash flow continues.
Yes.
And it also can rise ahead of inflation.
So it doesn't go down.
Well, it can. We in the investment community watch for this. So we constantly stay on top of those companies that are consistently producing a dividend, and it's going up quarter over quarter, year over year. Those are actually providing, if you look at the history of the stock market, it's over 44% of the total return of the market itself. And that's just one aspect. Another aspect, as an example of looking at your total income, and this is why you want to go to our website again, is to download sort of a guide. And there's 10 tips in there about whether you're preparing for retirement or you're in retirement, how you can increase your income. And one last example.
So the tips are provided in this
The tips are provided in there, so it's available for everybody in your audience.
Okay.
And my most recent meeting this morning was with a retiree, and she didn't know that she could claim her Social Security based upon her age this year. If you're thinking about pulling Social Security and you're in the 60 to 66 time frame, call us up and we'll help you.
Okay.
What we found for her is that she's getting an extra $24,000 a year starting this year.
Oh my gosh.
It's a lot of money.
That's amazing. Yeah. So there's always ways of increasing your income, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Thanks for coming on. We'll see you again next week.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed today's show. Thank you to all my weekly guests, and a special thanks to our featured guest, Mr. Dick Heckman. Mr. Heckman proved that if you put all your heart and soul into what you want to do, it definitely pays off. And you know what? If any of you are out there that have a goal or a dream that you haven't pursued yet, maybe today is the day that you take that very, very first step. Personally, this is my dream, and I have realized it, and it took just an accumulation of steps to get here. So if you're afraid and saying, oh, I can't do it, and it's, I can't see how I'm gonna make this work, well, I didn't either, but one step at a time is how you do it. So if you have an inspiring story to tell, please contact me. I'd love to have you on. Or if you just need a little inspiration, write, call me, comment, and I will be sure to get back to you. Until next time, thanks for tuning in.
Wake Up with Tina Marks is brought to you by Family Home Development and Revell, inspiring lives of unparalleled excellence.